Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
In today's podcast, we're covering another Scooby-Doo incarnation, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who?
Who? This series is a revival of the original Scooby-Doo Mini Movies from the 70s by having celebrity guest stars help solve the Scooby mystery in every episode. Now, from movie stars to TV stars to DC heroes, and even the Mystery Gang's own voice actors.
Yes! Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification about these on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your support and for checking in with us. We really appreciate you, and we hope you enjoy this podcast.
Yes! So, for this one, we heard a lot about it, and the fact that it was going to be like having a modern day version of the Scooby-Doo movies, we really like the idea. And every episode, they keep as promised, they have tons of stars, and it's like stars you would not expect to be on Scooby-Doo.
So it's really Scooby-Doo and Who's Who.
Right. And as they said, sometimes it's people in the DC universe. They've had movie stars, TV stars, voice acting stars, singers, poetry writers, Sherlock Holmes for some reason.
BTS?
Oh my gosh, that's all they're missing. Oh, if they ever had them on there, I think that'd be the most popular episode ever. It's like, wow, it's famous Korean boy band BTS.
Oh no, they always, when they introduce the star, it's a long, drawn-out introduction, so it wouldn't be that short.
Right.
Otherwise, superstars, blah, blah, blah. BTS. Merchandising, yeah, it will be, just keep going on.
Okay, you can stop. Yes, so they keep the same formula of having the people help solve a mystery every episode. I think the only difference is that instead of them being actual movies that were about close to 60 minutes, they stay around 30 minutes with commercials. So the mystery's shorter, but they're still fun. And usually they also hinge on one key theme in there that either is a quirk of one of the characters or a quirk of the guest star. Like they had, I think they had Sean Astin on there at one point, and his entire thing was that he was obsessed with you can't say the word ring around him because he'll go into Lord of the Rings mode and try to search for a ring and be a crazy. Jim Gaffigan, who was kind of a jerk in this show, could eat more than Shaggy and Scooby. You'd think that was possible, so they were all rivals. And they even had the Funky Phantom crew on there.
It's the Funky Phantom.
Who they could not stand. It was like, oh my gosh, they actually don't like somebody in their own world. That was a shock.
And there were some that were surprises, like Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
That was a really huge surprise. Like, Morgan Freeman, Scooby-Doo, oh wow.
Right.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes. And sometimes they would even have 2 stars on there.
And Sia.
Yes.
She was a real huge surprise. I mean, it was like, wow.
Right. And one of the biggest one was Billy D. Williams and his Cool School.
That was one of the favorite episodes. They even had a return of Cher, who had originally appeared with her husband, Sonny Bono, in the 70s. And this time she returned on her own.
Right.
And did another visit. So that was really interesting because if you've seen the old series, whether on DVD or however, you know that in the original appearance, it was their comedy bit that was the star of that episode. And here, though, it was just her.
Right.
And it was a little different seeing how they approached it with just her rather than being part of a comedy team.
Right.
That one made it interesting to me for that reason. They even had the Flash, or a version of the Flash.
Yes, they've had Wonder Woman. They've had Batman. They've had at one point they were
Mark Hamill.
Yes, Mark Hamill.
Yes, that was one of the great ones too.
Yes, and Malcolm McDowell, I think, and Whoopi Goldberg, and there's just so many. They just had so many on there, and half of them you're like, how on earth did they get them to do this?
And Halsey, and we can just keep going. So what I want to say is, there were 3 things that really stuck out to me that made this series different and that I really liked in the revival.
Yes.
The first one is every episode was different. When you watch the original series, when you watch Mystery Inc., when you watch Be Cool, Scooby-Doo, My Condolences, or these different shows, there's a formula that's stuck to. You have the beginning, opening, the beginning, how they go about finding the evidence and checking out clues, and then it's a wrong guess, the right guess, and reveal. There's a formula. And here, every single episode was different, and it seemed to be based around the guest that was appearing.
Right.
I really love that because you didn't know what to expect with any episode you watch, and that leads to my second thing. Every episode ended up being fun because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
There wasn't a formula, and I love that. For this particular series, it really, really worked.
Right.
And the third thing is Guess Who? Well, Guess instead of Guest, a play on words, kind of weak. But I do like they had the cavalcade of stars. I really enjoyed it because having watched I've watched just about every version of the Scooby-Doo franchise.
Right.
I really like that they went back to what made Scooby-Doo something different.
Right.
It worked. But they did it in a new way that was different and fresh. And again, with every episode being something different, it was like watching you mentioned, a 30-minute mini movie for each and every guest.
Right.
And I love that every single episode was different. It wasn't cut and paste. Every single one was different.
Right.
So to me, those are the best three things about this version of the series.
Right. And I like that in some instances, the stars personally know one of the Scooby Gang members.
Yes.
Like, someone was friends with Scooby. Like, where'd you find the time for that? They're like, Lucy Lou's an old friend of Scooby's in art school. Someone's an old friend of Shaggy's. Someone's related to Velma or Daphne. It's a cousin of Fred's or something. They're related to these celebrities. It's absolutely hilarious.
And Bobby Flay.
Right, it's Uncle
Yes,
Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
It's like, you didn't tell us your uncle was Bobby Flay. What's wrong with you? And even Alton Brown on there too.
Yes. So it looks like this particular series is meant to be fun.
Mhm.
You got your mystery in it, but it was really focused on comedy and fun and pop culture. That's what this series was devoted to.
Right. And it's sort of hilarious because in the way the last three series have gone, including this one, you had Mystery Inc., which was considered the best one, and it had its storyline, everything, and it really made something out of its formula.
Brilliant take and the best reboot or the best revival or version of the series.
Right. Then you had Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which was just felt like you're watching Family Guy doing
I couldn't even
Scooby-Doo.
look at the characters. It was so unnerving to me to look at how they looked. I couldn't even watch it.
Right. And then you get Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, which is just off the walls, crazy, hilarious, and fun. So it was almost like they had like different phases. They had their dark, gritty. Their dark and gritty one was fantastic.
Yes.
Then they had their almost bottom the barrel version, Be Cool.
And it was nothing cool about it.
And then you get back to the glory days with Guess Who. It's like they were going through different phases. They don't want another Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo on our hands.
Right. But we would like another crossover with Curse the Cowardly Dog.
Yes.
Some of the characters, some of the Cartoon Network characters. That would
Yes.
be fantastic. But they did a really good job here. And there's lots of people we haven't mentioned because
There's too many.
There's a cavalcade of stars. You'd be amazed at how many are on here. We forgot to mention that Bill Nye appeared with Neil deGrasse Tyson
Right.
in this episode. But there's just so many. And again, it was a brilliant idea. And kudos to whoever came up with it.
Yes, it was really brilliant, and they really kept true to what made those Scooby-Doo movies so much fun watching them, even when you're watching them in reruns.
Absolutely. So if you've seen Scooby-Doo Guess Who, even just one episode, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you love it as much as we do? Did you hate it? Tell us what you think. We really want to hear. And if you haven't seen it, hopefully you can find it on your local cable or satellite service. I don't know if it's on any streaming service. I doubt it very seriously because it's not a coherent unit like Mystery Inc. or the original series or Be Cool or any of those.
Right.
So hopefully you can find them and take the time to watch some of them. They really are good. Now these were available on demand to watch for October.
Right.
So this
or
is
they
the
say
perfect time
Scooby-Tober.
to check your local area and see if your cable station or whatever is airing these. and give it a watch now because it is Spooktober now.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation, and all things Scooby-Doo.
Absolutely. And we would love to visit your channel. So tell us the name of your YouTube channel in the comments below. Leave us a link. We'll check it out. Give you a follow. And thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate you and helping us get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toon-tastic day.
Peace.